So, friends, the title of this video is not clickbait. This is, in fact, the final Minecraft update video on this channel. It's not as if the server is ending anytime soon. It's just that I feel the formula of making update videos has run its course. And I want to go around the server and talk about how it began and kind of where we're at in the world. So, this is the server spawn. This is where everybody spawned in on day one. It is a mushroom island, or at least it was. We had an event at the beginning of the server to convert it all the mycelium into grass. So yeah, this is the main hub of the world, the very center. And it's mostly community built. We've got the temporary post office that ended up becoming the permanent post office. We've got the Freesh room that has gear and basic supplies for new players. There's an altar to get the armor stand book. Statues V2. Over here we've got a community smelter. Past the altar, back over here, there is a community fishing dock that was built for an event that I did not attend. There was a fishing event, and I think this guy was part of it as well. There's a trader in here. I don't know what his trade is. Oh, Luck of the Sea. Yeah, that makes sense. We've got community smithing templates. The dragon egg from the dragon fight is here, and the dragon statue. There's a community mine. Goes down to various levels. This, I believe, is a community brewer, where you can put in, you put in your brewing supplies. You can make potions. Over here, the large cube that says club. That is a, well, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a club. It was supposed to be like a community hangout spot. I don't think it ever got used for anything. It's like a little nightclub down here. And then over here, just to the south of the spawn, on the island, is the Mushroom Sanctuary. The final bastion of the Mushroom Island. See, there's like mycelium and it's like a large tree stump. This was a community build that we had a build contest for, and it sat unfinished for a very long time. As we go east, there's a lot of player starting bases and like little community farms. Spawn sniffers. We got dripstone here you can collect. There's melon and pumpkin. There's a community tree farm. Community crop farms. And this is kind of where we start to get into the actual player houses. Like these are like starting houses in the first week or two. A lot of people built their initial starter house on the island in like a little community. I actually did not. I have not built a single structure on this island, even though I believe we were supposed to. And there was a reason for that. I didn't like how small the initial map border was, like the world border. And since the center island is a mushroom island, it was like mostly ocean, the initial world. Like you could either live on the island or live on the fringe edge near the border. And I mean, I understand why they did that. It was supposed to be like the first few weeks with the most amount of people was supposed to be more community focused, but anyways, here is a map of the spawn island. We've got the initial world spawn right here in the top corner. Got the club, the Mushroom Island Sanctuary, and then this is kind of where we are now. We're over here. This whole eastern section is the like player bases. The initial spawn week 1 houses. And then down here more to the south on the island is the shopping district, which we'll get to shortly. But over here we've got a few more initial week 1 houses. Just, I don't know who built a lot of these. Apparently someone by the name of Legal Evidence built that one. I think this one was Palm. I know some of them. Most of them I have long since forgotten who built. But yeah, this one I think was Palm, the lighthouse. But yeah, there's all kinds of little builds scattered about in this area. Mellow Melon's plot. Yeah, there's a ton of like little builds like that, just dotted around. Here's another one. Rengen's hut. One specifically that I really liked was this one. I really like this castle. Casterman Feral Sage. I guess that's who built this. It looks really cool. And this netherrack is left over. I believe that's left over from when we made it all into mycelium. Got this house over here. This was built by Foxy Blaze and Alpha Cat. Nice little house on the hill. Okay, let's move on to the shopping area. Got a bridge over here that takes us right over to it. So this is where players have built their shops. We have a diamond economy on the server. Apparently somebody built a house over here. We've got the Yggdrasil Art Gallery. This is a shop that our little group has put together. We sell all kinds of artwork, like map art. Let's see if we've made any sales. Oh, I did. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that in there. We've got we've got all these maps. Yeah, we've got all kinds of different map art. I think upstairs there are banner patterns. Yes, there are all kinds of different banners that I believe Brun made. And room for expansion, even though we never expanded. Yeah, the thing I helped with this build, I did the back. Did the Great Wave on the back. And obviously sold some of my artwork in there. But yeah, I'm not sure what this is. I've not actually been to spawn in quite a while. Okay, this looks like a potion shop. That's cool. This is a motel. I want to say this is part of the spawn town over here. I think it's a motel you can stay the night in. Over here we've got, what's this one? Elytra shop. This is, I believe, terracotta or concrete. It's terracotta. Yeah, all the terracotta. I actually don't know what this one is. Unless it's not the mausoleum. This is armor stand services. I know there's think there's a mausoleum somewhere that sells mob drops. Not sure where that is. Over here we've got, I don't know what this one is either. I'm guessing sand. Yeah. But yeah, all kinds of different shops. People sell all kinds of different things. It's a diamond-based economy. So yeah, it's nice being able to like early game especially. Being able to just come over here and buy the materials you need instead of having to go farm for them for hours. But later in the game, like we are now, very late game, it's not really as necessary. So this area's kind of been neglected a bit as of late. This one is Ari's map art store. He's got all kinds of maps in here. And this is the shopping district portal. This is where you'd come in from the nether. This is a little area that Caddy built, I believe. Just like a little chill zone. There's a song here. Made with note blocks. I believe it is a shop theme from The Legend of Zelda. I don't know for sure though. And it does loop, but I'm not going to loop it. And then I, as a prank, did... Ooh, it might have been... When they did the path, it might have been erased. Oh, actually, I think it's this one. Yeah. The Rickroll. So I had it hooked up to this button. So if you came to push for atmosphere, like it says, you get Rickrolled. And of course, I couldn't go to the shopping district without showing Caddy's shop. The multi-shop, the shulkers and the wings and rockets. Okay, last couple things of note on the Spawn Island that I'm aware of is the tree shrine, 11025. Somebody, it was over there in the tree farm, I believe, or it might have been over more in Spawn. They built a tree, like stacked trees on top of each other all the way up to build height. And this is the, it's like the tree's grave because we had to cut it down. We've got this over here. What is this? I think this was supposed to be like that thing in Hermitcraft where the button would count up and then you had like bragging rights for waiting the longest for the thing to count up. But since it's been abandoned for so long, I got the pink of victory without even trying. And you know what? I'm just going to, I'm not even going to put my name on there. One last minor thing of note on the server is the hole down to the mine shaft. This is kind of where everybody went on the first day as soon as the server opened. Because obviously it being a mushroom island, your only option to get wood was to either swim across the ocean or go down into this hole. And that's kind of where a lot of people went, was down here. Alright, moving on to other areas. We're going to head over to Yggdrasil. This is the Nether Hub. I actually have no idea who built it. I don't remember because it was so long ago. But if we go over to the west, which has been changed to the Yest, I guess. I noticed that not that long ago. Somebody changed the W to a Y for Yggdrasil. It's probably Brun. But before we go to the main area, we're going to go over here to the Yggdrasil starting area. We never decorated this tunnel. And there's a pig down here. This is the Yggdrasil group starting area. This was my corner. Obviously, it has been... This place has since been gutted when the world border lifted. Because the world border was between these two land masses, right about here and there. The world border went right across there. And basically, as soon as the world border lifted, we went over there to the main area where Yggdrasil itself is. And we pretty much gutted this place. So that is where my corner was. We had our group storage. There's a little smelter back here still. Our enchanter was here. And then our starting villagers were over here. Obviously, most of them got moved. And this has since become where we keep all of our masons for like quartz and stuff. Yeah, we've got lava cauldrons. We've got this enchanting farm, like XP farm that I saw online. It's got these guys here perpetually taking damage, but they don't die because they're scared by the guy. You hit him with the silverfish potion, and yeah, it doesn't really work that well. But yeah, those guys are just gonna remain there in eternal torment forever, I guess. Got the villager breeder. And then up on the surface, we've kind of got all these farms that we started with. Got crops, animals, trees, sugarcane. Got a cactus farm. Yeah, it's not really interesting over here. Just pretty much we like rushed the basic farms. So by the time the world border dropped, we could just go over there and start building. Got an iron farm. And then in here is a moss farm. I think Brun has started to kind of beautify this area with the mountains. He's been building these ginormous mountains on the edge of our area over here. That you get a better view from the other side, and we'll look at that later. But from this side, you can see these giant mountains over here that he's built. I think he started to do the same thing over here because we wanted to put in some kind of effort to beautify this zone, our little starting area over here. But yeah, it was one of those things, like, it was a very low priority project. Okay. So, like I said, the initial world border was about where that beacon is. Well, actually, no, it was right here, like along the very edge of the shore, because there's actually a trial chamber down there. And I knew that because of I had a trial chamber map. But yeah, there's a trial chamber down there that we couldn't access. So the world border was about here, and when it dropped, first thing we did was boat across, and we rushed to the area where we wanted to build our central storage, which is under the massive tree, Yggdrasil. So the first thing we're going to look at is Brun's area, which he has dubbed Triassic Park. It's kind of a dinosaur-themed, like Jurassic Park inspired area. It's really, really cool. And the last time I was over here, actually, the Welcome Center had not yet been built. Yeah, I figured it probably wouldn't have an interior, but it still looks really freaking awesome. This is my first time seeing the Welcome Center, and that's what this island was made for. Basically, he put in all the trees, he built out the beaches, and all that, and that's where the Welcome Center was supposed to go. This island, but the island, it's kind of ironic because the Welcome Center of the park is the last thing that he built in the area. And then he stole my boat from the 118 world, which we also had a Mushroom Island spawn, but I built this boat at spawn, and he stole it. But yeah, let's head into the park across the bridge. And he's like terraformed this whole area. Put in so many custom trees. Like an absurd amount of custom trees. And they're so beautiful. These ones especially. I really like this one. This type. But yeah, all the custom trees. That's kind of what everybody in all three of us in Yggdrasil have been doing. Is just all the custom trees. We've got the Jurassic Park Jeeps with the custom map art. Got the front gate, Triassic Park. And then I think, in my opinion, the best way to view this area is the minecart ride. So Brun has done his base, or his area, this world. He's done a kind of Jurassic Park, you know, like Triassic Park area, based on, you know, it's like a dinosaur enclosure kind of thing. And there's all kinds of different dinosaurs over here. There's got Stegosaurus, got the long necks. There's even like a Jeep, Jurassic Park Jeep. There's a T-Rex over here somewhere. But we've got this beautiful, beautiful like jungle setting. We've got these guys with the curved head. I always forget what they're called. These guys that look really cool. Got here's the T-Rex right here. Got food for the T-Rex, you know, the goats. Yeah, here's the T-Rex. Then here's some more long necks. Another Stegosaurus over there. And one of my favorites personally in this area is the Mosasaurus attacking the pterodon. There's a couple of pterodons up here in the sky all around, but I really like the Mosasaurus. It's really cool. Got a couple little guys. There's some Triceratops over here. Got some more guys over here. I don't know what dinosaur these are. Got some little guys. And of course, we've got Minecraft's living dinosaur, the Sniffer. You know, because it's like an ancient mob. I think this one's a Spinosaurus. And then, yeah, I got a couple of happy gas kind of floating around. But yeah, this area is really, really freaking cool. Okay, best course of action, I think, is to go semi-clockwise around the base. And just talk about each thing as we get to it. So, next up would be the Catan board. that Brun built, and I know very little about this project at all. Like, I'm vaguely aware of what Settlers of Catan is, but apparently this is a board where we could play the game. We could play Catan in Minecraft. I actually don't know if this has ever been used, but I know Brun built it with the intention of playing it at some point. Then we've got these mountains here that Brun did. They kind of overlook the entire Yggdrasil area. They loom over the area in the distance. He built these up on the meadow up here, and there's quite a few of them. There's even a statue. He brought his statue of his skin into this world, put it up here on the mountain. Going from over there, the Yggdrasil starting zone, we set up shop over here, and this area is very laggy for me, especially with shaders on, so bear with me. But this is our collective storage. This is where all of our items in the game are. We have 2 sorting systems here. We've got this side is like all basic item filters, and the top layer all just like basic single item. And then I built a multi-item storage on this wall, which likes to break randomly for no reason and is super fun to fix every time. But yeah, I've got items just out the ass. Just so many items of all types. And then we had a bunch of artwork up in here. I tried to, in an effort to de-lag this area, I removed a lot of it, but it didn't really help that much. I think it's mostly block entity lag because there are so many chests in here. Got another little art zone. This is like got some paintings. We've got some potion brewers. There's lava cauldrons. Got a smelting array. And this was the original way to get down to the sub-levels. We don't really need that anymore since we have elytra. But this is the farm zone. And I'm actually going to turn off shaders so you can see better. This is where most of our farms are, our main farms. We've got Amy's tree farms, there's wool farm, there's iron, both kinds of moss, bamboo, wheat. This is a resin farm that I built. And then go down a bit, there's melon and pumpkin, there's various kinds of flowers, we got sniffers. This used to be a slime farm. It was this. It went up to this floor level. But that chest is pretty much full, and Brun wanted to incorporate it into his game that he has down here. But yeah, this is our farm zone. We've got pixel art up on the wall. We've got Donkey Kong that I built. I built all the ones on this wall. Brun did a bunch of Pokemon sprites on that side. And then we were supposed to do, like, the idea was to do the other 2 walls, but we never got to it. Brun has been steadily digging out this area. He's actually doing it right now. He's been digging out the deep slate. But yeah, they've got a bunch of farms over here. And this is slabbed off because it's a slime chunk. And that one's also a slime chunk. But yeah, other things down here. Oh yeah, this big pillar, that's a creeper farm. And then over here, real quick, there is a second trial chamber underneath our area. This is the one that I did some work in. I just set up some like super basic like pitfalls into campfires, and they just die. Like I can demonstrate on this one real quick. It spawns on line of sight. They just spawn in the air and they fall down and die. And you just walk along the path and activate all the spawners. I dug some of it out for materials. And then down here, I put all the drops, goes into the chest. It's all connected by water column underneath. And then it just, you know, just collect drops. Really simple, really basic. I didn't decorate it whatsoever. Like, I decorated like the bare minimum. There's a path to get through. It tells you where all the spawners are. And this one actually has a dungeon spawner, which is kind of interesting. But then if we go this way, instead of flying through the hole in the ceiling, if we go over here to the water columns, we'll pop out somewhere different. Just outside of the tree, there is this little cave. We've got a little rock here with copper in it. That kind of signifies that it goes down to the trial chamber. And then there's another one over here. This was a natural cave that just happened to intersect with where we were digging. And now we're on top of the Donkey Kong. Alright, this is as good a time as any to talk about Brun's Ace Race. It's based on Ace Race from the Hermitcraft world. That Impulse built. But it's our own kind of GG themed. And there was supposed to be a final phase. I think that's still being worked on. But we had first 4 phases. I didn't do so well. I think I might have gotten fastest time in one of the phases, or I got close to the fastest time. I don't remember. But it was a little while ago. So yeah, you set your spawn. Push the button, go through here. I'm not going to actually do a run, but I will show you the build. So we got like all kinds of different rooms. Basically, you just run through here as fast as you can, trying to get to the next area. And the next area, one of the ways through is, well, it used to be, you go through over here. And these are all inspired by... they're inspired by different builds that we've done previous, or some of them are new. Like this was the Tuscan Raiders, or the Tuscan Federation, Brun's desert base on the last world. This is kind of what this one was based off of. It was like a Star Wars desert thing, but we also have the Dune Sandworm. Then the next one was kind of Triassic Park. Got dinosaurs. There's the creaking flying around, or the creaking walking around in here. And then the next room I built, which is based on Escher, an artist that does like abstract kind of stuff. So yeah, Brun did pretty much all of the work on this project by himself. I helped like a little bit. I designed this one room. That's pretty much it. And I gave ideas and feedback. So my role in this project was very, very small. But the next room over here, I mean, there's multiple routes you can go and stuff, but yeah, this is just, these are like the basic rooms. There's actually Ravagers in here, so I need to be careful. But this is based on the first level of Decked Out. Tango's Decked Out from Hermitcraft. It's the like ice area. I don't want to go downstairs because I know all the Ravagers are down there. But we can go back this way and take the secret path to the next zone. I actually don't know where the Ravagers are. I know they're down here somewhere. Yeah, this is the ice level. Then there's this one, which is, I think, based on the new Decked Out. It's based on the new Decked Out, I think. It's like there's like a cemetery here and a castle kind of thing. And then the next area, Cyberpunk City, that we built on the last world. That's kind of what this one's based on. And then there's Ravagers in here too. And I'm going to take the shortcut down here. You can try to do the gas parkour to get over there. Or the way I always went was this way. Through the sewer. And we'll go backwards a little bit just to show you. This is another place where the Cyberpunk City leads to the sewer tunnel. This is like a direct rip from Impulse's version of the game. Was dodging the slimes. Yeah, I didn't really want to go through that. So, I went the other way. We've got this area. This little sewer area over here. Goes to the subway. And then you travel down the subway. I'm just going to ender pearl through. Yeah, you just go around this corner. Go over here, you push the button to stop the timer. Set your spawn. And then you can, like, die to reset your health and then do another run. Of course, there are other rooms that you can go to. There's other paths that I didn't follow. Like the slime area that we talked about. This used to be part of the slime farm, but he changed it to be part of the game. Like, you can run through here as part of the game. So we've gotten a little bit off track, but humble beginnings over there at the Yggdrasil starting zone. We moved over here, and we built this ginormous tree. And this is kind of where we put our villagers in this kind of Norse-inspired little village area. Got a building with all of our villagers. We may have had a little mishap at one point with a raid, and some of them died. They have since been all replaced, I think, by this point, because that was a long time ago. But there are plenty of other buildings in this little town. We've got a bunch of different animals. Got a barn with even more animals, just different kinds. Because sometimes you just need something from them, so it's nice to keep them around. There's a little blacksmith build, and all of these were built by Brun, obviously, except for this one. I built the farm building. Down here, there's a little PvP arena, like a tiny one. We did some stuff in. It's been heavily used. Always great to have a little zone where you can duke it out. And then a couple other buildings down here. I don't know if these have interiors. No, they do not. And that's okay. Oh, this is the official entrance to the Ace race. It's over here in the village. Yep. We've got it's right next to Triassic Park. Got all these little like farms to fill out the area and some more buildings. This little ship. And yeah, just a really, really nice area. At one point it was, I mean, it still kind of is my favorite area of the base. This kind of zone. This kind of zone where you can just see all the different styles. Like, you can see the giant mountains in the back. You can see the Triassic Park jungle. You can see the Norse Yggdrasil, like the village around Yggdrasil. And you can even see, these stone pillars. You can see the forest I built. Like, there's so much variety in this area. It's just so cool. So these pillars are actually part of a build that I suggested we bring back from a previous world, which was Mud Run. It was a pig race. Because we got these new pigs, the new pig variants. I thought it'd be cool to bring back Mud Run. So yeah, we've got a nice pig race course over here, built entirely by Brun. It was one of those things that I suggested. I was like, hey, Wouldn't it be cool if we built something over here? And then, you know, obviously he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then I didn't do any of the work on it. And he ended up doing all of it. So, yeah. It is really cool, though. Like, the mud run. I actually don't know if this race has ever been ran. Like, I don't know if we ever did anything over here. But it, like, loops all throughout this area over here. So when we came over to this area, we sort of divided the entire area around Yggdrasil into, like, 3 pie slices. And we each took a slice. Brun took the northwestern, or northeastern. Amy kind of took the northwestern, and I took the south. So everything down here to the south is kind of what I built. I did this giant forest. This is one of my, what I call the 3 major projects, which was the forest, the labyrinth, and the riverbed. And then I moved on to another 3 major projects, one of which was the temple, and I actually don't remember what the other 2 were, because it's been so long. But yeah, I did this beautiful birch forest that took so long to do. Got these rocks here I did. And the first thing I built in this area was actually this bridge across the river. And the temple was a little bit after that. And that's kind of where I started. All my starter stuff was in here. It's obviously been since cleared out. And these missing textures are, they were like server trophies for, like, trophy for being a day 1 player, you know, and stuff like that. But the texture pack for those has since been broken. And then up here, we've got an old map, what it used to look like when I was still constructing the labyrinth, like before the temple, before any of this got developed up here, before any of this over here. And yeah, this is just a little starter area. I eventually expanded downstairs. This is where I keep materials and, like, my personal effects. And some junk. There's some junk down here too. And here's another map. I think this one should be up to date. Of the completed labyrinth and the temple and the crevasse, which is a new project that I did. And then down here, this is where my gear will... This is the final resting place of all my netherite gear and my ender. I'm going to, you know, when the end of the world is announced, I'm going to dump my ender in this barrel, put down all my gear, and then log off for the last time. Like, that's just what I always do. But I've already built that room. It's ready to go. There's no definitive end of the world. I'm not, like, saying I'm not going to play on the world anymore. I'll still be on from time to time, but just whenever, you know, it's here and it's ready. And then down here, there's an abandoned project down there. I was going to do mud farms. But, yeah, it turned out to be way too much work. And then down there, there's just a little sorting system for stone and stuff for when I dug this out. And a smelter that's a bit faster than the one under the tree. That's all that's really down there. Nothing of note, really. So, the major project, like the project that I worked on, was the Labyrinth. I wanted to make a kind of game where you could run around. There were objectives to complete or something. And you had to, like, dodge Ravagers. There are Ravagers in here. And it is a fully functional game. The objective is to collect the 5 artifacts. There are 5 challenges in the Labyrinth. You start here. You run across my base, across the fields, over to here. This is the actual entrance to the Labyrinth. And then it loops all around this area. Over here, it covers this whole zone around here. There are 5 challenges. The 5 challenges are the lava parkour, which I'm flying above right now. You can see sections of it are above lava, so you can easily die. Challenge 2 is underwater. There are guardians in here, and you have to manage like your breath and not drown and locate the hidden artifact. Challenge 3 is actually popping off right now because it's becoming night. There are creaking in here that you have to avoid. So you kind of have to traverse the maze backwards, keeping track of the enemy in front of you, and find the artifact in here in a barrel. And there are doors that open up at night. They're on a daylight sensor. They also might be broken. This one appears to be broken. I think most of them probably are broken by this point, because I didn't plan ahead and build them in a single chunk. Some of them border chunks. So the way things update in this game, it might have broken the doors. But the way it was supposed to work was it'd be easier during the day. There's less creaking running around. But there are doors closed, so there's only 1 or 2 ways in or out. And then at night, it's significantly more dangerous. There's more enemies, but there's also more exits. So you kind of wanted to plan. There's a little bit of strategy involved, like when do you want to come over here and do this part of the challenge when you're running around. So here's another door. I don't know if it's open. It is open, and this one's also broken, which is awesome. But yeah, so one of the things was managing your time in the labyrinth, because it would take, obviously it would take more than a Minecraft day to complete this. It'd take 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on your sense of direction. So you wanted to manage which challenges you did first. That was part of it. And this is a little shrine to something I did during the first week. I collected enough diamonds with the tunnel bore to build a beacon. And I built this little altar to hold it. It's been here this whole time. Yeah, there's no time limit. You just go in here, collect the artifacts, survive. That's really, that's the objective. Challenge 4 is over here. I always called it the Vertical Traversal Challenge. It's based on the Cyberpunk city from the last world. I really, really like that area. So I stole a bunch of the builds. I dug out this giant hole all the way to bedrock. So what you want to do is, obviously you're not going to have armor on, so you can't take drops like this. But what you want to do is, there's a hidden artifact somewhere, and you want to try to find it. So it would test your parkour skills a little bit. It would test your powers of observation. And there are areas where you can just drop straight down, but that doesn't really achieve your goal, because it's no secret that the artifact isn't just at the bottom. It's somewhere in between the top and bottom. It's somewhere in the middle. Challenge 5 is what I called the trap run. It had a short parkour section, and then you would run into a trap that you had to avoid. You didn't want to die, So this is the parkour. There's parkour section here. There's a trap section here that would shoot things at you, like potions and arrows trying to kill you. Like the classic Indiana Jones kind of thing, where he's running. You're running, you're stepping on plates, things are shooting behind you, kind of thing. That's where that was inspired from. Then here's another trap. There's a pit. It just goes down to bedrock, has spikes at the bottom. There's a pufferfish hole where you get poisoned and you die if you fall in there. So maybe you don't do that. Don't fall in there. And then here's the artifact. It's at the end. Yeah, this one isn't really that hard. It's pretty straightforward, because it was supposed to be the parkour is hard enough. It doesn't need to be difficult to find the artifact, because you still have to parkour out in some areas. So yeah, that's challenge 5. So So once you had all the artifacts, you'd make your way over to the east, to this area. And there is a door here that is sealed. What you need to do is put all your artifacts, all 5 of the artifacts you find, in the respective barrel. Then the door would open. The light would turn on for each artifact. So feasibly, if you wanted, you could do a challenge, come all the way here, put it in the barrel, go back. You could do it one at a time. Or you could run through all the challenges and bring them all at once. It didn't matter. There wasn't a rule either way. You could do either or. And then for each artifact, the light would turn on, the door would open. I'm just going to break through. And then you push the button to close it. Then read the book. Take a boat. And get the hell out. There wasn't an efficient way back. You just kind of walk. You can parkour across the top of the labyrinth at your own peril. Or just die intentionally. Or take a boat and go along the river. And I had a couple of people over here play it. They put their score up on the wall. Got Brun, Palm, Ari, Casey, Klutz, Andy in this maze. Yeah, I took a very, very long time to build this ginormous labyrinth. I'll never do another project like it again because it took so much time. Okay, moving on to the temple. So after building the labyrinth, I had this area of this peninsula left over. I wanted to fill it with something. And I didn't want to just expand the labyrinth because I'd have to like level this whole thing down to the water level. And I really didn't want to do that. So I started off with this little tower here. Built a bridge across, and then I naturally just developed the temple as I was going. Like, I mean, I would develop a section in creative mode, and then build it in survival, and then kind of think, okay, how do I want this to be laid out next? I'd go back into creative, design another section, and then I eventually arrived at this. And this didn't have an interior. At first, it didn't have a purpose. I just built it to fill space. I mean, it's still really cool. It still would be really cool being empty. But I felt it needed some kind of purpose, so I decided to use it to, in an attempt to try to de-lagify the storage area, because it was really, really bad. I moved all of our map art over here, and this kind of became the art museum. So we've got all kinds of different art made by all kinds of different people. I couldn't even tell you who made a lot of these. Like, any of these, I have no idea. Except for that one. I think that one was Woden. These, I don't know. These were made by Brun. Those were Amy. These were made by Yggdrasil group, the 3 of us. These were all Woden for his Blood on the Clock Tower game that people were playing for quite a while. I don't know if games are still going on, but for a long time there, they were playing like 2-3 times a week. And these are all Brun's maps, because when you play, you get a map art of your role. So these are all different roles in the game. And it's kind of like an Among Us type game where you use social deductive reasoning to find the killer kind of thing. We've got more map art up here. We've got all these albums. Most of these are Ari. I want to say Baptized was Brun. I'm not entirely sure. I think the rest were Ari, though. There's a couple more over here. Then we go upstairs. This is where my fine art collection was going to go. but I never finished it. I had a couple more I wanted to do, but like I still have time. I still could do them, but it's not high on the priority list at the moment, just in life in general. I did do the Starry Night and the Great Wave off Kanagawa, and of course I did a caddy version, the Great Wave off Kadigawa, and the caddy edition of the Van Gogh. I was going to do a couple more and try to fill up this wall. And then I did this poster because Caddy hadn't been on the server for quite a while. So this was kind of a joke, you know. Have you seen this man? Because he'd been missing for a while. I plastered them all over the server. Got a little art piece up there. I tried to do some kind of like perspective thing. And then the ceiling of this is based on the build I did for Ace Race, which was based on Escher. So this is based on Escher. It's a bunch of doorways and windows and stairwells that don't go anywhere. Go up to the roof. There's nothing up here. Dabs suggested that I should make a little coffee shop up here, have like a little stall, and do some like seating. I think that might be nice. I might get around to doing that at some point. And then up here was supposed to be for like statues, but I never figured out where I wanted the statues. So I've just got this like empty flat area up here. We can overlook the beautiful landscape. And yeah, that's kind of that's the temple, really. I also did a bit of landscaping around here. I did a couple of giant bonsai trees. This one being the last one I did. They're based on that one originally. That was the original one. And then I built this one on this side. So basically the way I designed those was I would go into creative mode and use world edit, just build a shape with, you know, the tools, and then spend hours sculpting it. And then I'd shrink it down because I built them 3 or 4 times this size originally. Then I shrunk it down and rotated it 45 degrees. So it was on a diagonal. But yeah, I've got 3 of them. I wanted to do another one, but I don't know if I'm going to now. We'll see. I also took some inspiration from BOO and did his design of these like white cliffs. It got more simplistic as I went along because I decided I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. Got a little bit of help from Brun as well, doing the top part here. But I terraformed this whole end of the peninsula. Put in a beach on this side. Got more cliffs over here. I kind of wanted to do more on over in this area. More of the cliffs. So the final project in my area was the rift here. And this was designed out of a need for something to fill the space between the labyrinth and the temple. I took a bunch of TNT. I just blew out a big chunk of this. And then at a later date, it sat like that for a while. And then at a later date, I was like, hey, why don't I make this into a magical rift? Because that sounded cool at the time. So we've got this rift into like a magical dimension. There's a creature trying to escape. And it's kind of trying to strangle the tree and kill it, is what this tentacle's kind of doing. There's a couple more. It's like attacking the temple, attacking the labyrinth here, corrupting the landscape. And then we've got the main portal, and these are like vestiges of the creature or the entity trying to invade this plane of existence. Get a quick look at it in the daytime. You can see the portal. Like I said, these are like vestiges of the entity. And this area is not lit up, so we'll be extremely careful. Yeah, it's like corrupting the landscape. I wanted to do something with this hill over here. Like, I didn't want to interfere with this terrain because I like the way this looks. But I kind of wanted something on this hill. And this is what I came up with, connected to the magical rift. And then over here, we have a small 1950s inspired city. This was built specifically for the short video that I put out called The Witness. It was kind of furthering the joke of Caddy being missing that I made. I made the poster, you know, the "Have you seen this man?" poster. And then I decided, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I played like a 1950s detective trying to find him? And this is like the detective's office. In here, the rest of these rooms are completely empty. In fact, they're blocked off entirely because there's no interior. There's not even a wall between them. We can go up to the roof, though. And all the other buildings around here are the same way. They are completely empty. Just blocked off the windows and doors, so you can't see that they're empty. And Brun helped out a lot with this. Brun did this entire block here. He did that back wall over there of buildings. He did all 3 of these warehouses. Did a lot of work on the roads. And did the taxis. I'm the one that kind of fumbled the bag on this one. Once again, I had an idea. I was like, hey, what if we did this cool idea? Brun was all for it, and then I put in a lot of work over here, but then my motivation kind of fell off. So, episode 2, maybe. It's mostly written. I just need to find people to play parts for things. So if you're a member of the GG Discord and on the server, and you want to play a character, let me know, because I need people for things. Just a couple of voice lines. It's not like you're not like reading paragraphs and paragraphs of stuff. The parts I have scripted are like 2 or 3 lines maybe. So yeah, it's really simple. Won't take up a lot of time. But yeah, it's a cool idea I had, was to do like a noir style, a black and white detective thing where we find Caddy, because he had been missing for a while. And this is the door. If you watched that episode, this is the spot where Caddy was last seen, coming out of, I think he was coming out of this building. The photo was taken from this balcony. It's not a spoiler or anything. It's just how I took the photo and stuff. But yeah, I need to build. I still need to build an interior for the next episode. It takes place in a theater, which is supposed to be this building. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get around to it. Like, I have a build designed. I have a full build designed for this. This like curved flat iron building type plot. But I never built it. Like, I have the schematic ready to go. But yeah, never built it. And we were kind of building this as needed. So like I'd write the episode, come up with the plot, be like, okay, this is what we need bare minimum to film the episode. And then we would just focus on that. And that's kind of why this area is the most developed. The only outside shot I needed for the episode 1 was outside the window along this street. So this is like the most finished part of the build, is this corner over here. But yeah. And I decided just to We'll just throw it over here in the swamp. It's an area that nobody's using. Nobody lives over here. I don't know. There's somebody's farm over there. I don't know whose that is. But our area is like right over here. So, okay, the last member of GG out of the three of us is Amy. Amy decided to do a Botanical Gardens inspired base over here on her slice of the base. She built this gorgeous all custom tree forest over here on this like peninsula that I get a really great view of it from over here. Like, it's really cool to look at from over here. Or I like go all the way up here, have a look at it. It's really, really sick. It's awesome. And we've also got some terraformed rivers kind of going through here because we wanted waterways throughout the whole base. So some of these waterways are natural, some of them are not. This is one that is not natural. Amy dug this out. We've got lots of trees over here. It's really, really atmospheric and cool. It goes all the way back here. Got some dogs over here. Across from the forest, across the river, we've got Amy's, like her personal storage area. Like I've kind of got my little personal area in the temple, the little temple. And then she's got this shulker monster over here of all her materials. I think the nether portal is in this rock. Yep, nether portal's right there. She's got a little house over here. So here's a poster. I put this up. Yeah, this little area is pretty nice. It's a little greenhouse. There's a little greenhouse over here. Got dogs and a bunch of other animals, chickens. She did some terraforming. There's like a little waterfall, rapids thing. Rock over here with the nether portal. And then this is kind of the entrance, I think, is kind of like the entrance to the botanical zone. Or at least there's a hole in the wall to get over here. So there's paths all through this area. She laid most of the groundwork for this area, but for one reason or another didn't get around to filling it in, which is fine. There's a little bit over here to look at. There's some like flower beds. And then you follow the path over here. This is a pillager outpost completely covered by a giant statue of a lady. And that's why it's all carpeted, so the pillagers don't spawn out here. Over here, Amy has a beautiful like archway, and this path goes over to, it branches over to Brun's area, kind of, and my area, so into the transition area. There's a beautiful gazebo over here, which I actually used for reference quite a few times when I was building the temple, because it's got a really great vantage point. You can also see the mountains off in the distance, and you get a really great view of the tree. A couple other things Amy did were the gorgeous willow tree in the middle of the lake here, and we've got a startings of a rock formation. So it looks like there was a pretty good start here. Got some groundwork, all the groundwork put in. The walls to keep the mobs out, it's all lit up. You know, there's a couple of large structures to draw your attention. But with time, I mean, there's still time for this project to be finished. But even if it stays unfinished, it's still pretty cool. So this is kind of like a transition area between bases. Got my area to the south, Amy's to the west, and then Brun's kind of to the northeast. and obviously Yggdrasil itself directly to the east right here. But if we follow this path north, go past the copper rock that we saw earlier, because this is kind of far. But if we go north past the Triassic Park, we will end up in the Christmas Zone. This is another area that I did not participate in whatsoever. I think a couple of people came over here and helped Brun out. Maybe. I don't remember for sure. But obviously this was built during the holiday season. It's a nice little Christmas village. Got a Christmas tree here. There's a bunch of custom trees. Got some little elf workers that are frozen for all eternity. And then up here, there is a Santa's workshop that unfortunately has no interior. Then we go out here. There is a landing strip for a sleigh up in the sky. Got a sleigh, some reindeer, got some presents. And one of the suggestions I had for this area was a boat race around the natural frozen lake. But again, it was one of those things where I suggested an idea and then didn't work on it at all. And Brun ended up kind of doing it himself. I know I don't know how much work it was, because this area is mostly naturally generated, like the river. I know he dug this out right here. This isn't natural. He dug this out, filled it with ice. But most of this, I believe, is all natural. There's even like a little skating rink here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like a neat little holiday area. So, it's been a wild ride. This is the end. This is possibly the last Minecraft update video I make ever. So, I mean, I'll still be around playing on the server. So, it's not like I'm leaving or anything. But in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.